Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Maki Soibong, a father of four who left Africa to seek for greener pasture abroad. So today there's something that is very important I want to share today in this channel with you. There is this lady I used to watch her videos on YouTube, and I've been following her for quite a while now, and she has an amazing channel. And there's also this other woman, this one other woman I used to watch her videos, and she also has an amazing channel. And I'm going to tell you something unique about them. I've watched about their video before, and I should make my point of why I made this video. The first one I mentioned that the lady I used to watch her videos on YouTube. She lives with her family in the US, and maybe they have lived for a couple of years. I think 7 to 8 years, and in her videos, she have been making plans and preparing to return back to Nigeria. In fact, they are returning back to Nigeria from the US. And the second one, based in the UK with the family, and they are returning back to Nigeria from the UK. I think they have stayed in the UK for about 10 to 15 years, and they are returning back to Nigeria from the UK. I was like asking myself, this is America. This is the UK, and where everybody want to go and live and have a better life. And they are returning back to Nigeria. And people in Nigeria are saying that Nigeria is very hard. Nigeria is not as the way it is before. Nigeria is so bad now. And people are returning from the US and from the UK to Nigeria. What could be the motivating force, and why do they want to return back to Nigeria? Was the question. And they're not the only person, they're not the only ones that are making plans to return back to Nigeria. There are a lot of other people. I have watched their channel, they have lived in the US 4, 5, 6 years, and they want to return to Nigeria. What is motivating them to return to Nigeria is why I want to make this video. You know that when you leave Nigeria, or if you have never left Nigeria before, you left the shores of Africa and traveled to the west or traveled abroad. It is when you get there, you will now realize the opportunities that are in ground in Nigeria. Most times they say that people don't value what they have until they lose it. It is when you leave the place and come, you will now see that there are more problems to be solved in Nigeria or in Africa than the West or than abroad, wherever you are in abroad. This lady, I like her mindset. She is so business oriented, and they want to return to Nigeria to build a business back in Africa. And I like her mindset. Why people in Africa want to run to the West or want to travel abroad to live a better life, and people abroad are returning back to Nigeria to invest and to live a better life in Nigeria. Most of the persons, if I don't know if I should use percentage or something, most persons I have watched their videos, most Africans who are living abroad, living in the West, about 80% of them I have watched their videos are almost saying the same thing. That there's no life here, there's more life in Africa, there's more life in Nigeria than living there. Most times life can be very boring, and nobody tells you how the reality of things in ground. It can be so boring, so lonely that most times you just wonder, why are you here? Why are you even here? There's more life there in Africa, and there's more problem to be solved in Nigeria, in Africa, than here in abroad. So the other lady said they're returning back to Nigeria to do their business, and that there's more problem to be solved in Africa or in Nigeria than abroad. And the other ones, the second family said they are returning back to Nigeria with their children. I think they have 3 or 4 children in the UK, and all the children were born in the UK, and none of them have ever come to Nigeria before. So they are bringing them back to Nigeria, and they want to integrate and do a business in Nigeria. Now I want to tell you that Nigeria or Africa is better. The land is green. Just look for an opportunity in Nigeria or in Africa and set up a business there. If you can, do all you can to build a business there in Africa. There's more life in Africa, there's more potential, more opportunities, and more problems to be solved in Africa than abroad. Abroad, they have all solved their problems. They don't have light problems. They don't have road problems. They don't have what again? They don't have waste management problems. They have solved almost basic problems we have in Africa. In Africa or in Nigeria, we have light problems. We have bad road issues. We have garbage management problems, a lot of problems that are there in Africa. We have food problems. Well, when we have lands, we have a lot of potential. We have oil, we have gold, we have silver, we have a lot of things in Africa, but we are still having a lot of problems. So there are a lot of problems to be solved in Africa than here. So if you have an opportunity to do something in Africa, start a business, build a business in Africa, and you're actually going to make money. Like I used to say in my video that I think if you have not watched most of my videos, or you're watching me for the first time, you can watch my other videos that I'm returning back to Africa. I've not stayed here for long. My family is back in Africa, and I kept them back in Africa because I want them to be a tie to me to return back to Africa. I don't have any intentions of planning to bring them over abroad. My coming abroad was just to stay for a few years, work and get capital, and return back to Africa and reinvest on my business. Before I left Africa, I was running a fashion business, and the business is what I'm going back to reinvest it, because I have the experience, I understand the terrain, I understand the business very well than any other business. So I am returning back to Africa to build my own business in Africa. There's so much money to be made in Africa if if God opens your eye to see what is there. Understand? So that is the myth. People in Africa, people in Nigeria want to all japa abroad. Why people abroad want to return back to Africa? If you're watching my video for the first time, please do well to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to this channel. Okay? So what do you think about this? People want to go back to you want to come abroad, or you want to build business in Africa? Which one is better? Do you think that these two women are doing the right thing to return from the West back to Africa, from the US and from the UK back to Nigeria, or should they remain abroad? What do you think? Let me know your thought at the comment section. Thank you. See you next time. Thank you for watching this video, and bye for now.